President Rodrigo Duterte is one of the popular presidents of the Philippines. He was known for his authoritarian leadership style and man of the people persona that included fiery rhetoric and controversial off-the-cuff speeches. His spokesperson and frequently called upon to interpret and clarify his comments. Duterte's 2016 presidential campaign, his election victory. During his presidency, his domestic policy focused on combating the illegal drugs trade by initiating the controversial war on drugs, fighting crime and corruption, and intensified efforts against terrorism and communist insurgency.
The Build Infrastructure Program, BBB, was the infrastructure program of the administration of Rodrigo Duterte, the 16th President of the Philippines. A key component of his socio-economic policy, the program aimed to reduce poverty, encourage the economic growth, and reduce congestion in Metro Manila, and address the country's infrastructure gap. Launched on April 18, 2017, the program also included the continuation of 44 projects under the previous administration. The rehabilitation of Manila Bay and Boracay are two of Duterte's notable green legacies. To speed things up, the President signed Administrative Order No. 16 creating a Manila Bay Task Force. The Dolomite Beach on shorelines of the bay has improved the Bay Area. Duterte almost single-mindedly pushed this bayside cleanup plan. The rehabilitation of Manila Bay has given a fresh start to Manila's tourism drive and its livability. In 2018, he pushed for the rehabilitation of Boracay Island. Against many dissenting voices, he forced a fix of the island's creaking sewage system by shutting it down to tourists for 6 months.
Duterte implemented free college education in state universities and colleges and institutionalized an alternative learning system. He also signed the automatic enrollment of all Filipinos in the government's health insurance program and ordered the full implementation of the reproductive health law. He initiated liberal economic reforms, including reforming the country's tax system. He also established freedom of information under the executive branch to eliminate corruption and red tape. Additionally, he granted free irrigation to small farmers and liberalized rice imports with the rice tartification law.
Duterte's strongman style of governance alarmed human rights advocates and complicated ties with the U.S., Manila's defense treaty ally and key trading partner. Nevertheless, he enjoyed overwhelming domestic popularity that endures to this day. Experts say his brand of politics also contributed to the victory of his successor, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., the son and namesake of the late Philippine dictator to whom Duterte has often been compared.
Some of the controversies of Duterte. One of the controversies of President Rodrigo Duterte was the ABS-CBN franchise. A race between the administration of President Rodrigo Duterte and ABS-CBN on the terms and the condition of the franchise renewal agreement. Duterte criticized the ABS-CBN letter for their allegedly biased and unforgettable news coverage against Duterte, beginning with his presidential campaign in 2016. Philippine presidential election repeatedly his opposition against the renewal of the network congressional front. On the day of President Duterte's second stage of national address, a number of organizations led the protests. The president's promises of improvement during a persona, including those on contractualization, land forms, and economic policy, have not yet materialized. According to Renato Reyes, Secretary General of Bayan, also claimed that under his administration, legalization has already happened. It is regular to kill drug suspects, regular to sabotage peace talks, regular to militarize, and regular to spread news and disinformation.
It may have been 6 years since a man described as a toe-talking mayor took his oath as the country's 16th president. But supporters of outgoing President Rodrigo R. Duterte are still in awe by his personality and his administration's accomplishment. Duterte has maintained high survey numbers, with a Publicus, a second quarter survey describing him as the most popular president of the post-EDSA I era. In May 6, Duterte admitted he is fascinated by his sustained popularity, but just what makes him so popular? Graphic designer and entrepreneur Arvin Tan said he admires Duterte for being unapologetically proud, a trait that has also been heavily criticized. Tan said this only highlighted Duterte's totoong tao.
No leader, however strong, can succeed at anything of national importance or significance unless he has the support and cooperation of the people he is tasked to lead and sworn to serve. They were among the first words of Philippines' 16th President Rodrigo Duterte when he took office on June 30, 2016 and addressed the public at the Rizal Ceremonial Hall in Malacanang Place, Manila.
It was a bold premise to build a presidency on, especially one backdrop by much controversy. Regardless, President Duterte administration continued to remain popular with the Filipino public, with even the latest social weather stations survey finding that 75% of adult Filipinos are satisfied with his performance. Such trust was not unfounded. Vilified as his administration was in certain group, the Duterte government had managed to leave an impact on the country in various aspects and lead it through the worst global pandemic the world has seen in a century. Duterte has consistently enjoyed high rating. It should therefore not come as a surprise to get yet another report about Duterte's popularity. But the 91% score can only be seen as outstanding high for a presidency that has so far failed to fulfill its above priorities, such as ending the drug menace and adopting the federal form of government. Duterte's rating is even higher compared to other Asian leaders whose government have been better able to curb the spread of COVID-19 in their respective countries.